right, everyone. We are through our second week. We're going into our last week of the official tournament. And just so you know, we after this week on week four, technically, I'm the way I'm doing is again, I'm going to give people who are sort of in line for a placement prize to either play a game or maybe just roll off to flip. Again, I can only just, I would love to send 20 people different prizes, but I can only send three prizes. So if we do have some multiple first, second, or third places, I'm going to sort of prioritize people who want to play that tiebreaker game versus people who just, so we'll have to figure that at the time. I want to say though, I think though the biggest prize that I feel that if you're playing in this tournament, and I know some people have gotten sick. It's life. That this is not the most important thing in the world. But what I really would like to say is that the biggest prize that you are getting, whether you go 3-0 or 0-3, is that you are getting better at this game. I think that if you played in this tournament and you've been tested, and whether you've won or lost, you've learned something, you've grown as a player. That's awesome. That is a thing. Even if you don't do great in this tournament, if you've learned and you've grown, you can go. I'm expecting the players in this tournament to go back to their local groups and to just start tearing them up, right, and just winning games, and people are going to be like, "Wow, where did you get so good?" So that's my hope. Again, just a big thank you to everyone who's played in the tournament. I've loved your enthusiasm. I've loved those who've helped out with the maps. Just big thank you for that. It's been really great. I hope that I was telling them I think in between this week and next week I should be able to fit in a tabletop game with a TTS game with someone. So we'll see. I know we have to work around our schedules, but I'd really like to play. This has got me excited to play. So again, just thank you everyone. And I hope, my big hope is that whatever your score is, that you got something out of this tournament. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go through the round two matchups. We're going to see the results, and then we're going to see how they actually did. So the first one is Leonardo and Thomas Creek. So, yeah, this one. Let's look at these two. I think I did predict that Thomas was one. So Thomas's lust demons. Round one, I didn't quite see the power. Well, towards the end, I really see this is a really good army. Very good. Just from the effect. Now, I knew, and I think I predicted that this army was going to win round two. One, not only because it's just so many units, but also, anything with Scout in the second round, because it's progressive scoring, had a huge advantage. So I think the fact that half his army was scouting, and he had so many guys just to drop, and just so many bodies. Yeah, against Leonardo, and the thing about Leonardo's list, it's not bad, but he's got a lot of like AP4, and that's the thing about AP4 is that if you spam it out, you could very easily go up against sort of this Def 4-5 meta, and then you're sort of overkicking things. So, and that's something that I like, in that AP4 is strong in this game, but you don't want to bring too much of it, because then you could go up against a lightly armored unit and they just overwhelm you. And I think that's what happened here. I think that I think that Leonardo's army is really solid. um, when I look at it, I don't see anything wrong. But again, he's really stacking. He's got the deadly six as well, and yeah, I can see how he won this. And again, the scenario is just a thing with scout is it's always good to have some scout in your army, because when you go up against progressive scorings, and that's why I would say I've generally been pretty satisfied with the official tournament uh, the tournament scenarios, because no, remember, we're testing the official thing. So I think it's easy to see Thomas Creek's army, very good, very good. And we're going to talk about his next matchup. But yeah, I think I predicted this one. And yeah, I still think Leonardo's list is very good, but it shows you what happens when you kind of stack too much of that AP4 in there. So with this one, I can see how Thomas Creek won. So Gary Vienna versus his Alien Hives against Joshua Eights. Now this was a really close game, and I think I watched some of this game. And I really liked how Josh played. Josh and Gary did very well. I loved how Josh was using his transports in his game to sort of think. This actually ended up in a tie, and the game, from what I've watched, this was a super good game, and I love actually that it's a tie because this means these are actually two armies that I think are like very good, but both of them are a little bit of finesse armies. So I think it's interesting that we get to see sort of these two more finesse armies, and they end up tying each other. So I think that's really cool. Like I said, I watched part of this game, and it was really awesome. So I think I don't know who I predicted, but I think I ended up predicting Joshua, I believe. But the fact that it's a tie kind of shows you this was probably a really good game. So the next one was Warboss against his orcs against Jason West's War Demons. Now, again, I think the first thing I didn't get. I need to watch this game. I'm going to try to catch it, but I think Warboss's list. It's I know that so he lost this game, and I think one thing I did catch a little bit of the YouTube battle report, and I was seeing that Warboss failing some morale checks. Um, I really, and that's the thing with orcs, and that's really the thing with a lot of these quality four-ish armies. I like Warboss's list a lot, but it is going up against a pretty hard counter with just a lot of Def 2 and 3. I mean, like, Jason's list is definitely, it's one of these lists that he's running, it's a feast or famine list. This list is going to have some really good matchups, and it's going to have some really bad matchups. And I think that Warboss, I think I did predict this was going to go to Jason. And also because I think that anyone that had Scout in this scenario, I was predicting they were going to win because like Scout is just so powerful here. Now Warboss had the shooting power, but Warboss's list, it's very dependent on rolling sixes and rolling those 4-up morales. So that's the thing. Like Warboss, if he gets above average rolls, he's going to stomp people. But if he just has below average rolls, because it's so roll dependent. If he's not rolling sixes, his army is just substantially weaker. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it does show you that when you're playing a tournament, it's sometimes better on the long run to play more consistent. In other words, now I know that Warboss says it's fun, but I've watched him playing his games, and he's very good with this list. So I think Warboss tries to, he wants to, he positions himself as sort of a casual player, but he's actually really good at these games. And I've watched a few of these things. So yeah, this list, it's really good. It's really good at 3,000. This list at 2,000 may not be so well. But it was going up against a demon list, and the thing is that these demon lists, these scout-heavy lists in progressive scoring, are just really strong. And I would say, as an army, you have to have a way to counter that. You have to know that when you're going up against progressive scoring, you have to have something in your army that can deal with that. That can be very aggressive or that can punish those scouts. And whenever you're building an army, you want to have a way to punish aggressive scouts. In other words, if they're going to scout their units up, they're going to get punished and just blown apart or just charged in hand to hand. So always keep that in mind. That's one of the things that I think. But Jason as well. I think this was a good matchup for him. I wasn't surprised he won this game here. All right, match 4 was Ryan against Solomon's Blight Disciples. And I know that I do know that Solomon won this game. Let me just check. I always like to just make sure, but I'm pretty sure Solomon won this game. He did win, yeah. And looking at this matchup here, I think I did predict that Solomon was going to win. It's a very good army, first of all, and this army is going up against a lot of AP1 in this army. And Blight Disciples were their natural unwavering, which is to lower 1 by the AP. This Solomon's list is going to love facing AP1 because he's sort of just ignoring it. So I think the fact that there's a lot of AP1 running in this list is good. He probably and I think Ryan didn't probably have the punch power. This is where probably having more AP4 would have been very good. So again, probably a bad matchup for Ryan, I would imagine. Although he did have some spells. He had an AP2 buff, I believe. Yeah, he had this AP2 buff. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I think this was probably a close matchup. I think I'll have to dig into the Discord. I forgot. I know they posted about it, but I definitely could see how Solomon won. Solomon's list is like a really good. It's funny. AP4 spamming lists are going to do very well against Solomon, right? Because he can just sort of blow through that unwavering. He does have Putrid there to counter it, but then again, he's it's interesting, because I think I could see how Solomon won, but this was still probably a bit of a fight. Um, so Solomon won that one, and we'll go to the standings next time. Alex Sawyer, this is his Saurian list. I do like this Saurian list, and it went up against a Battle Brothers list from Diego. So, looking at Diego's Battle Brothers list, very much an MSU list. It had some attack walkers in there that probably needed to do a lot of work. I think I commented on this that I think he really, this list, well, it had some AP4 in here. Um, hmm. Maybe it was a bit of bad rolls on Diego's part. Like I feel like Diego probably has some of the tools to deal with this. His list isn't too tough. Um, Alex's list is very dependent on this Ankylosaur to do work because that's two shots at deadly six. So if he's shooting at like, does he? Yeah, he's got these walkers. So this is the thing about Alex's list is it's a bit swingy. Like this right here is such a huge swing. If he can hit two times, he can one shot one of those attack walkers. But if he misses, then it's sort of like wasted. And it's 500 points. It's a thing, man. Like the Ankylosaurus is it's super good, but it's also more of a tank. Where you're just sort of moving this thing up and just being like def to heavy shield. And the thing about both of these lists is both of them have fearless. So this was probably a pretty good matchup, I would imagine. Um, hmm. But I could see how, and I think I'm going to make sure Alex won this, I'm pretty sure. I reviewed these beforehand, but I'm just like double checking. Yeah, Alex won this one. This feels like it was a pretty close game, though. I need to see. Because both of these lists seem to match up pretty well against each other. I think the Frog Mage. Again, this Frog Mage and this Ankylosaurus are just super tough and hard to get rid of. That I'm guessing the Saurians just got on the objectives and just sort of stuck it out. So still, it feels like these lists did very well against each other. And the thing is that he does have the caster to get off this +3 AP. So that's sort of the win condition I think that Diego needed in this army. He needed to get off that time passage. That's going to do work against a lot of this Def 2 and Def 3. So that's probably what I would think he was trying to do. Um, yeah, still though, it looked like it's probably a pretty good game. Probably a pretty good game. All right. Alex Sawyer and that one. Adrian Schultz, and we're going to talk about this a little later here. So, Adrian Schultz's Alien Hives against Stephen Walker's Lust Disciples Custom. Now, I was really surprised that this Lust Disciples was lost. I think it's lost twice. I'm pretty sure Stephen Walker's lost twice, and it's a crazy good list. But that shows you. I think this Lust Disciples list, losing it, man, it feels like this is such a great list with Furious and Overload and your things. He went up against, though, a pretty tough Alien Hives list. And the thing is, the Alien Hive has the caster. Maybe he was countering some of that villainous charge. Maybe? Let me see. I think these two armies, I don't know who I predicted would win this. I need to check. but it looked like another really close game. I think I called. I think I gave the win to Stephen Walter. So so kudos to Adrian for winning this game because I think that Stephen's list is better. But then again, Stephen seems like he played it pretty well. I mean, like, and I'll give one of the things that Adrian has is scouts. But I thought that Stephen's lust was just fast enough to counter that. But you know, I think the scout was probably maybe I gave this to Adrian because he has a lot of scout in this army. I just thought that maybe Stephen was going to blow through that. But kudos to Adrian. He did have the advantage with positioning and scout. I'd love to kind of find some more details about this game. I had to look at the Discord and see. This was probably another pretty good game. And I still like Steven's list. Maybe the fact that he didn't have Scout was a slight disadvantage this game, but I just felt I felt he didn't need it. This is a list I don't feel needs Scout because he's got fast and a lot of flying. Well, there you go. Still another really good list, and Steven lost that one too. Craig Burton versus Jesse Willardson. Now this was let me see. I think that Jesse won this game. He did. And we're going to talk about that actually but actually and we'll talk about this later, both Jesse and Adrian who have a temporary loss, they both won their games. And we're going to talk about this how both of these guys are technically they're 1-1, but if they play their game this week, they could be 2-0. And that actually means that if they win their third game, one of those two can actually win the tournament. So I would encourage Jesse and Adrian if they can fit in 2 games this week. They're still in the runnings. But Craig, now I remember Craig posting that he rolled terrible this game, and I think I predicted Craig to win. And on paper, I feel like he should win. Although I would say that Jesse, he does have the blast to deal with it. So that is something. I mean, Jesse does have. He's got the blast. He's got blast where he needs it. So he's definitely going to chew through some of those units. He's got. What spells did he? He's still got the +1 to hit. So I'm guessing he was +1ing to hit the support vehicle, just hitting things AP2. That is pretty nasty. And the thing is that Jesse's list does have the tools to deal with Craig's lists. I just felt that in the scenario, I felt Craig should have won this. So apparently, I think I was reading that rolls came into the mix, and that happens. I still think that Craig. I don't want don't get discouraged. I still think this is a really good list. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is. But sometimes you have bad rolls. But I wouldn't get too discouraged. I still like your list. I still think it could do very well. But I think this is the 0-2 with Craig. And hey, that just happens. And sometimes we just rolls are part of the game. Daniel Barros versus Stefano Paletti. Now, I think I put this. I think my heart is still going for Daniel because he's a local guy, But Stefano, man, this is just a nasty list. I think Stefano had a bad matchup. I want to say, or did he? He lost his first round, but I want to say, did he miss his first round or something? This is still just a really good list. And with Stefano, his list is tailor made for progressive scoring because he has that turn 1 ambush. Yeah, he can't score on turn 1, but he just kills what he needs to. Whereas I felt Daniel's list just didn't have the hitting power. He does have some tools to deal with it. Like he does this. I think for me, it's the elimination squad is just really pricey at 380. Just 3 shots in a 2-up deadly 2 it's powerful. I mean, that is really good, but it's so expensive. So expensive. Um, I can see how Stefano won this game. Very good in progressive scoring. And the last match was Rio versus Taylor. Now, I think we didn't get a chance to see this game. Taylor got sick, so actually, I believe Rio played a alternate. So this game didn't happen. I would have loved to have seen it though, because I think it was a very tight. It was going to be a tight matchup, I think. So maybe in the future they get a chance to play. I still like Taylor's list. Like I think Taylor's list is super solid. I think he had maybe a bad matchup or a bad. He went against Gary's list, which is a bit. I remember this one. He went up against Gary's list, but I still think that Taylor's list is super good, and maybe they'll get a chance to play in the future. But I think and I give a lot of respect to players who don't take the easy win. And Rio got a chance to play, and he earned his win, which I think is great. I'm all about for me in this tournament, I'm not. I'll give everyone free wins if they get a chance to play games and get better. That's the whole thing for me. If you're getting better at the game, then I think that's great. So I love that he got a chance to play. So yeah, that was the round nine matchups. I think I did a better job. I want to say I did a better job this week. I think the first week I really underestimated some of the power of these armies. I think my biggest underestimation was probably Thomas's. Thomas, I underestimated this Lust Demons. All right, let's look at the overall standings. So we have got two Damon players on top, 2-0. So both Thomas and War Demons are both on top. Now I would say this: Demons, they had an easy win with progressive scoring. It's very that army just has a real advantage in progressive scoring. So I give them that. But they're actually two completely different armies. I know that Jason's is like a big guy heavy, and then Thomas's is like sort of spamming out little guys. Then we have Solomon. Solomon is bringing his Blight Disciples, and these guys are doing super good. I think they've had some good matchups, and we'll see. Gary's. So Gary and Joshua, they're actually a little more in the mix than you realize because they have that one extra point. So if they win, they're going to be two. They're going to be 2-0-1, and that could actually put them above a lot of 2-1 people. So I'm guessing this was a great game, and I love that. Now here's something I want to talk about. Adrian and Jesse won their games, so they're only temporarily at 3 victory points. In other words, we should have one more person in with 6 tournament points. So I would say this: Adrian and Jesse, if you can play 2 TTS games and play this game, you're one of you is right in the mix to win the tournament. And I think both of these lists are really good. I'd love to see them. So then we have some 1-1 players here, and 1-1 right now is not bad. I think that if you're 1-1, that's very respectable. So Leonardo, Warboss, Ryan, Alex, Stefano, and Rio, they're all 1-1, and that's you're right there in the mix. If you're 1-1 right now, I think you're right there in the mix. And then we have some 0-2s. I think again, I go back to it. I think this Lust Disciples list is super good. Maybe it got some bad matchup, maybe rolls. Daniel's list, I think, is pretty good. His Prime Brothers. I think that he could tweak it. I think I played a game with him, and I was giving him some advice about tweaking it in the future. But hey, the fact, and one thing I learned from Daniel was telling me, he's learning the game. So if you're 0-2, but you played some hard games and you've learned, like that's awesome because it means that you're getting better at the game. And the way you really get better at the game is by playing harder opponents. And like I'm all about the fun games. Don't get me wrong. I have fun games all the time. But I'll tell you this, when I play fun games, I don't really learn anything. I don't get better. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I love playing games where I'm tested, and I love that. So I'm hoping that even if you go 0-3 this tournament, if you've learned something, if you've grown as a player, you can take that, and when you play casual games that are a little more competitive, you know, then you're going to do better. Craig's Machine Cult, I know it's 0-2, and I think Craig has had to drop out, and with work, hey, it's understandable. But Craig, hey, love your list. Thank you for playing. And Taylor as well is 0-2 with another really good. Now Taylor did have to drop out just because he was sick. So Taylor just as easily could have been 1-1. So that's just how it is. Taylor, feel better. Hope you feel better. All right, we're gonna go into round three. So we have some matchups. So just so you know, I tried to be as random as possible, but there was a few things. One, I didn't. If you've based on your score, if I didn't want you matching up with the same person you played in round one. So that's the first thing. I did have some control in saying I didn't want you playing the same opponent, and I also didn't want you playing the same army. So, for instance, if you in round one played an Alien Hives or an HDF, and in round three, I didn't want you playing another Alien Hive. So I tried to I was random, but I also said, well, I want to make sure that these players are getting some variety in. So it was, like I said, it was random, but I did, just so you know here, I didn't want you playing the same player from round one, and I didn't want you playing the same army. So, but based in that, I've matched the players. So let's go into round three and let's look at these round three matchups. So the first one is going to be the Blight Disciples against the Lust Daemons, and boy, so the first thing that we have to talk about is Thomas's Lust Demons. This is a very, these are two different lists, but I think both of them are going to match up very well against each other. One of the disadvantages that Thomas has had is he's now facing, this is not progressive scoring in this one. There are some extra scenarios, but the big thing is that this is not a progressive scoring scenario here. It is, I believe this one is corner case, so corner deployment. Um, it's going to be very interesting. And you know, I've predicted in the past that Thomas is. I thought Thomas was going to win his last game. It was just too good. But he is going up against Solomon's Blight Disciples, and Solomon's. Here's the thing about Solomon's Blight Disciples: he doesn't have a lot of AP 3 or 4. He's got a lot of AP 0, a lot of AP 1. That's the first thing. Solomon's got a tougher list. He's got, some putrid and some unwavering in there. He's got some undead in there. I think corrosive. He's got these three. So one of the things about Thomas's list, he's got basically no hand to hand, no shooting. I'm sorry, he's got no shooting whatsoever. So I think those actually 3 10-man units of blight zombies with that corrosive, that's actually going to do some damage because it's going to be one hit. So actually, when one of these lust guys charge them, oh, they'll probably kill them, but it's going to basically cut down that unit by a third or a half. Def 4 and 5 here. So I think those blight zombies are going to do work just because he can't shoot them off the board. We have the Blight Brothers, I think AP1 and AP2 with Reap in this army is going to do super solid against Thomas's list. Now, I did watch Thomas play, and he's good. I did get a chance to see Thomas play, and he's very good. I was watching what I saw him do in that game. Thomas is a good player, but Solomon, I don't know if I haven't seen him actually play, but he's 2-0, and I think he's had some pretty tough matchups too. So Thomas, I'm sorry, Thomas, yeah, but Solomon also seems to know this army pretty well. Um, Caster is there. Caster is there. It's going to be a tough one. Hmm. This is going to be a hard matchup. These are two. I mean, I think both of them are good players. They're 2-0, and I've seen Thomas play his list. He's good. There's a Dark Tactics in there, so I think there's some mobility. Um, both of them have chaff. The thing is that Solomon has got those blight zombies. He's got 6 units of chaffs himself. Um, it's a lot of even the greater mutated blight brothers. There's some fast there. The thing, boy, this is going to be a terrain matchup because here's the thing: both of these armies don't have a lot of flyer strider. I don't believe. Correct? Just checking. So neither of these two armies, well, this Blightlings have some Strider, I think. This is going to be so this is really going to come down to skill. And it's really going to come down to using terrain to your advantage. Now, I know that in Solomon's list, he's got Warning Cry on his leader, but that's not as good. That warning cry is not going to do as good against Thomas's. I mean, it's going to push him back slightly, but Thomas has fast on everything. So, this is going to be a really close matchup. Really close matchup against two very good lists, two very good players. I think, though, I'm going to give it to Solomon because I believe those Blight zombies are just going to do a lot of work with that corrosive. And they are undead, so he's going to lose combat. But the thing is that Thomas's list is sort of he's all in. Thomas doesn't have like these smaller units to whittle him down. He sort of is just going in and just blowing a unit up. So he's going to charge those zombies. He's going to cast. He's going to blow them up. But then they're going to like blow up half of his units as well, and that's free damage. So I think I'm going to give this to Solomon. I think the dark tactics is going to come in very handy. I think Reap in the army is going to come in very handy. I think that Solomon. I think, though, I will say this way. I'm only judging based on the armies. I've seen Thomas play this army. He's good, so Thomas could easily win this game as well, just because he's a really good player, from what I've seen. So, but I'm going to give a slight advantage purely on army to Solomon. Um, Slight advantage. So this is a 55-45 in Solomon's favor. And this could easily be a tie. Let's not forget about that. Two players going up against each other, and they just may tie it out. So there you go. Solomon and Thomas, two very good armies. Next, we have got Gary and Jason. Now, Jason is the exact opposite. So again, I'll say it again. Damon's in this scenario, because it's not progressive scoring, is they don't have that huge advantage. But Jason's list, it's the exact opposite. Unlike Thomas, who's running, he's sort of a deadly counter list. Well, Jason is sort of a blast counter list. Excuse me. Jason has some deadly in this. Okay, so let's look at Gary's. Now, Gary is, we talked about that. It's a nice scalpel list. He's got blasts on here. That invasion spore, I think as long as he's shooting the bloodhounds, it would be okay. But then again, that's just that one big shot. He's got he's got blast in the army, which isn't going to do him so good. I think that's the case. He's got. The thing is, Jason does not have a lot of units. And like Jason only has five, eight. He's got eight activations. Gary has one, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9, 10, 11. So Gary has got him on activations. Gary has got some. He's got some tough units. Gary has sort of he's got the pheromones. So I think this is, I mean, the mobility. The thing is about Jason. Okay, here's where I'm probably gonna have to give this to Jason. One, I think he's a good player. He knows how to play this list because I think he played it well. Two, though, um, difficult terrain. I think that if Gary is going to use difficult terrain to its, and this is the thing, I've played War Demons in the past, and their big Achilles heel is difficult terrain. Now that never mind, because they have fly. I forget. I'm sorry. Jason has flying in his army, so forget about that. But I would say this at the same time, Jason, because there's a lot of Strider and pheromones. The mobility is still in Gary's favor because he has Strider and he's got pheromones. And the thing is, if Gary has the chaff to slow Jason down, the other thing is Gary has got the maneuverability to. This is an objective based game. So if this was a kill game, I'd give it to Jason. But I think purely on objectives, I think Gary's got this game. I think that Jason's list is super powerful, but this is actually not a good list he wants to face. Where there's a lot of smaller units, and they're all sort of running around. He's they actually can take out because I think he's got some deadly and he's got some. The snipers are interesting. I don't know if the snipers are going to come in handy, but there's going to be more damage. There's no shooting in Jason's list, so the invasion artillery spore I think needs to do work. It needs to hit on those fours to blow up those hounds, the soul snatchers. The thing is as well is Gary actually has spells, and in Gary's spells, um, he's got the -1 morale, which I think is great. Oh, Gary has the flying, and he's got the regen buff. And there is what's the rending? That is okay. Actually, there's rending to counter that. Hmm. Hmm. Close matchup. I want to give this to Gary. I think that Jason, and this is going to be another close one. It's going to be close, but I think that Jason has better objective control. I'm sorry. I think that Gary has some better objective control than Jason. So there you go. And again, Gary tied a very tough opponent. He tied some Dow's lists, and I think that Joshua's lists are really good. So I think Gary has shown himself. He won a game that I didn't think he was going to win, and he tied a game that was again a super good army against a super good opponent. So I think that Gary, I think the army list is better, and I think that Gary has shown himself to be a good enough player to deal with it. So that is going to go to Gary. My prediction. Joshua Yates against Jesse Willardson. Now Jesse is 1-1, but that 1-1 is just temporary. So he could just as easily be 2-0. I think that his army he won, and who did he win? I forgot. Who did he win against last round? I'm just gonna check on this. Jesse won against Craig Burton's Machine Colts. Um, hmm, that's a good army, and I think I predicted him to lose because I think that the Machine Cult list. But so, hmm, what we can say is that Jesse has faced a similar army with this one. So Jason Eights. This is a redesign. It's a super good list, and I was watching Jason. I was sorry, I was watching Joshua. I apologize. I was watching this a lot of J people in this tournament. So I was watching Joshua Eights. Joshua, he played the army. I watched this game. He played it really well. I really liked what he did with his army. He knows how to play this army. Um, he does. He just knows how to play the army. The transports, very good. What do we have? Storm leader. He's got a lot of grunts. Yeah, that's what you do. He's got an infantry squad. He's got medical training. He's got medical training. I would have liked to have seen on these infantry squads. I really would have preferred to have seen some company standards on these two, just to help with the because I think you could fit if you could have fit in points for company standards on these two, you're going to be pumping out 4 morale buffs a turn. So that's my critique of Jesse's things. I mean, they've got company standard on default, and it's like you take company standard. Take aim, and he's got hold the line. So he's got hold the line. So that's basically undead on these 40 recruits, which is great. These company leaders effectively have like 20 wounds, but half of that when they fail morale. But you get the idea. These company leaders are just sticking around. Very good chaff. This is going to be a close game. Um, Caster 2. He just has Caster 2 that I'm guessing he's going to try to cast the level 1 spell. Who is he casting it on? He's casting it on. So, for one, these attack vehicles are going to do a lot of work. He needs to hit with them, but that's a lot of damage on these attack vehicles. Snipers are going to do really good against Joshua's list. If he can pick out those mystics are like Def 6. So these snipers can just theoretically one-shot a mystic. He's got to be very careful on that. He's got a lot of blast in this army, though. A lot of blast. And I think in the past, he's got so much blast. blast, 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 reliable. But he's got the flamers. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. You know, Jesse's list is going up against a bad matchup. It's going to do, but this is Jesse's list. This is what he wants to face. He wants to face an army like Joshua's. He's got the blast. He's got so many flamers. He's just got flamers. He's got the take aim with the support vehicle to drop just the truckload. He's even got a deadly that he can use on the combat walkers for the. And they have scouts? No, they don't have scout. Hmm. 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 This is a really tough one. I know that Joshua. The thing with Joshua is he doesn't have a lot of morale mitigation. He has snipers, though. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. Joshua has some snipers. Did Joshua win his last game? I need to check on that. I forgot. Joshua. That's right. Joshua tied his last game. Jesse won his last game. All right, just making sure on that. Jesse won his last game. Both very good players. I think that Joshua went up against those two people that tied. I know that Joshua's a good player. Jesse's got to be a good player. But I think that this is probably going to be the closest matchup. Man, this is super tight. It's super tight. Both of these, this is looking like a very good game. Because both of these armies are sort of, both of them have the tools to deal with each other. Both of these armies want to go up against an army like their opponents. The problem is that that's counteracted because both of them, it sort of balances it out, right? Man, this is an army I want to call a tie on. But I'm not going to call a tie because I don't think that's fun. Because Joshua has got a lot of blast in the army as well. He's got a lot of snipers. Oh, those sniper squads! I forgot. Those are going to come in handy. He's got 9 sniper squads, and he's going to be shooting those company leaders and that. Yeah, boy. I'm going to give this to Joshua because he's got those sniper squads are going to do money this game. Those 9 sniper shots a turn, if you can protect that squad, it's very squishy. But this could go either way because Jesse has the range to take out the snipers. So this is going to be a super close game. I don't know who to give this to, and I'm completely honest. I really try to make a prediction. This is just going to come down to rolls, and it's going to come down to positioning. It's going to come down to rolls. Jesse has a little bit longer range, but Josh has. I think I'm going to give this to Josh because actually he's got a lot of hitting power in this. He's got those tribal huntsmen, and those things hit on 4s. The warning cry isn't going to really matter. I think I'm going to give this to Joshua because he's got a lot of these tribal huntsmen running around, and he's got the hand-to-hand advantage. But this is basically this is like 52 to 48 in Joshua's favor. This is going to be a super good game. I actually want to watch this game. It's going to be super good. Super good. Oh, man, I can't wait. I'd love to see this game. All right. Joshua and Jesse. I think this is going to be just a great game here. Man, I'm going slow. I need to go quicker. I'm talking about these too much. I apologize. Well, if you're watching this thing, you're going to enjoy me ramble on. Andrew Schultz, again, I think that he's probably going to win. So I think that Andrew is going to win. If he and Jesse play each other, I think that Andrew has got an advantage. So Andrew could just as well be 2-0. If he wins against Jesse, which is not guaranteed. But I like Adrian's list. It's super good. I mean, this is a super good list. He's got a lot of scout. Scout is still going to do him very well. He's got regen, ambush, and caster. It's a very good list. He's going up against Warboss's orcs. Now, here's the thing. Warboss wants to face an Alien Hives list like this. It's a lot of Death 4 and Death 5. Yeah, he's got the Hive Lord and the Psycho Rex, but most of his army is Death 4. So this is an army that Warboss likes. He's a big AP1 and AP nothing shooting in this army. Um, I think this is something that Warboss likes. I think there's very little shooting in Adrian's list. And here's the thing. Because this is not progressive scoring, Warboss can sort of hold off on the objectives, shoot him down, and then kind of come in. Like, I think the only shooting that Adrian has is that Psycho Rex, but that's 9-inch shooting. Now, I will say this, the Hive Lord and the Psycho Rex are going to be problematic for Warboss. Both of them have regen, both are def 2, they're going to be tough. But everything else in the army, not great. Adrian has a lot of AP4 in this army, which isn't going to do so great against Warboss's primarily Def 5 and Def 4 army. So, a bit inefficient. Um, he does have those Ravenous Beasts with poison, which is going to do work. But I think I'm going to give this to Warboss. This is not progressive scoring. So, and also Warboss has got those trikes that can focus down. Probably those trikes are perfect against those ravenous beasts. Um, right, AP2 Deadly 3 is like it's perfect for a ravenous beast. It just has to hit. I'm gonna give this to Warboss. Yeah, I'll give this to Warboss. This is going to be another really close game. And here's the thing: if Warboss doesn't roll so well, if he fails some key morale rolls, Adrian's going to win this game. I think this is I'll give this a 60-40 in Warboss's favor. All right, there we go. I'm going sort of slow, but at the same time, just skip to your section here. So if you don't want to hear it, but if you want to hear me ramble on, just keep on listening. All right, Adrien Sorius' star hosts. Sarian's star host against. We've got some alien hives. Now, Leonardo's alien hives has AP4, and that isn't good for Alex's list. This isn't a list that Alex wants to face from alien hives. He has got Leonardo has this artillery beast. Now he needs it to hit, but if he hits 2 out of 3 times with this is going to be sort of make or break this game. If he gets generally more, because remember it's 3 shots on a 4-up. So if he gets a few turns of those double hits, he's going to do some damage to the Ankylosaurus, to the Spinosaurus, and to the Frog Mage. That's the thing. Indirect 36 inches. This is probably going to be some key rolls. Well, they have heavy shield, but still, it's not great. And if some rolls don't go Alex's way, he could just lose his Frog Mage. This Frog Mage does not want to, this Artillery Beast, this is a very roll-heavy game. And that's the thing about Leonardo's list. It's very feast and famine. This Artillery Beast, it's either going to be the MVP or it's going to be the reason he loses the game. Because without this Artillery Beast, Alex is going to win this matchup. Yeah, he's got AP4. But, Leonardo just doesn't have the staying power. He's got AP4. But the thing is that there's a lot in Alex's thing and is that's going to deal with that. This is a hard one. You see, this artillery beast being 1,035 points, it's a huge point sink that's either going to win, or it's literally like this game is either going to be a 3,000 versus 3,500 point game, or if the artillery beast rolls bad, it's going to be like a 3,000 versus 2,000 point game. Leonardo just doesn't have what he needs. But then again, this is why you bring the artillery beast as Leonardo to face this army. So it's really going to come down to. But what I would say is that Alex's list, even if they're getting hit with AP3, a Frog Mage is saving on a 4, the Ankylosaurus is saving on a 4. I'm going to give this to Alex. How did they do last round? I'm going to check. What are they? They are both 1-1. Yeah, I mean, like, I think these are two good players. This is going to be a super good list, but I think I'm going to give this to Alex because this artillery beast. Now he has the AP4, but the thing is that Alex has the. He's got the stuff to. He's also got caster. He's got more caster in the army, so that's going to matter. There's a lot of fearless in. I think the fearless is going to put Alex over the edge because aside from the fearless here, not a lot of morale mitigation. A hive swarm, I guess, but oh, Devourer Beast is fearless too. And artillery. Well, actually, never mind. I take that back. There's a lot of fearless in the army. This is going to be a super good game. This is a 60-40 towards Alex. 60-40 to Alex that I'm going to give for the win. All right, Rio versus Ryan. Now, these are two HDF lists that get matched up to each other. We did have like 3 HDF things. So, again, based on the matchups and the past matchups, they got stuck. So it's HDF, and these are both redesigns. Oh, these are both the redesigns. So I think that's interesting. How are both of these built? Company standards, great. We've got a caster. Company standard. I love to see the company standards. And he's got take aim. Major Pain's doing very well. We've got a sniper squad. We have got another telepath, conscripts, stormtroopers with a sniper rifle. All right, fair enough. We have got battle drills. Yeah, this is the double ogre squad. And then he's got APCs. He's got that. He's got a battle tank, two battle tanks. Then he's got deadly and blast on. That's both gonna matter. Ooh, that's nasty. Heavy fusion rifle. Then he's got a support vehicle with flamers. So I mean, Rio's list is very good. I think Rio is in the 1-1 range, if I'm correct. 1-1. So very respectable. I mean, 1-1 is good. 1-1. If you're 1-1 in this tournament, you're doing good. Master Telepath Conscripts. Master Telepath Conscripts. Company leader with company standard and take aim. So these are exactly the same, maybe slightly different. He's upgraded one of them with a master rifle. Yeah. Conscripts. Company leader with field doctor. Very good in conscripts. Two stormtroopers with shotguns, which I like. And he's got the ogre squads. Both of these have ogre squads, right? These are actually very similar. Battle drills. He has got battle drills and field doctor. But this one has got the gunships. Oh yeah, that's right. Ryan has the gunships, which have the deadly and blast, so they're gonna pick their targets. The super heavy battle tank. That's right. It's two regular tanks against the super heavy. That super heavy is gonna do work. It's gonna do work. It is 24 shots at AP1. That when you buff that up, both of them have attack aim. That is going to be murdering stuff. But you know what? The battle tanks also have got the blast and deadly. This is going to be a super good game. Both of these lists are very good. Both of these lists are lists that I would build with my like I designed this, and these are both lists that I would build. So I think both of them are doing what they need to do. This is like a 52-50. Whoever's I'm predicting going to win, this is a 52-48 because they're basically both of these lists are built very well. The gunships may be the linchpin because these gunships. Here's the thing: both of these lists want to screen their key units, right? Both of these lists basically have chaff, and they're going to basically protect. But you've got these two gunships that have a blast and deadly. That means that every turn they're going to be shoot. They are going to take their pick and hit the key units they need to. The other thing on the other side, however, Rio's list has got snipers, and snipe in this army is super good. Super good. Because there's a lot of squishy characters on both squads. Rio has got sniper. That's going to do work. The problem is that there's these two gunships who can be like, where's that sniper squad? Okay, I'm going to shoot them. But it's just hitting on a 4-up. So maybe it's one turn or two. This is going to be so close. But I'm going to give this to Ryan because of the gunships with the transport. There's a lot that Ryan can do to run in with his transport, shoot something, and I think he's either going to put the stormtroops or the ogres in those gunships. And then there's a lot more pinpoint accuracy. Rio's list, don't get me wrong, is super good. And Rio has got the tools to deal with Ryan's list. He's got the deadlies. Deadly is just great. It's great. It's literally anti-tank cannon. So Ryan's list has that super heavy, and that super heavy is going to do work. But this is a tactic. This is going to be a very tactical heavy game. Both of these lists are good. Both of them are going to try and do some very interesting things. But I think I'm going to give the slight advantage to Ryan, and I think the gunships are going to be if they can hit, they're going to be the MVPs this game. Because Rio, both of these lists have chaff. Both of them are there to screen and protect those key units. And Rio's gunships are going to sort of say, I'm actually going to deal with that. I'm going to give this to Ryan. But Rio, it's literally 52%. Rio could easily take this as well. All right, next we have Daniel's Prime Brothers against Diego's Battle Brothers. Now, these is getting in the 0-2 range, and that's fine. Like I said, even if you went 0-2 this tournament, bad rolls, bad matchups, it happens. Daniel's Prime Brothers, which are sort of an MSU list, yeah, against Diego's Battle Brothers, and boy, this is going to be. Both of these lists are a bit on the MSU side. Not bad. Um, Both of them have got morale mitigation. Both of them are relatively tough. So Daniel's list is a little tougher, but less models. Diego's list, a few more models, but not as tough. So this is going to be interesting. I think the elimination squad for Daniel may be key. Daniel doesn't have any caster in the army. That's a big disadvantage. I really would have loved to have seen some caster in that army. Diego has got caster in the army, so that is a big advantage. Caster in this game, Diego has got advanced tactics. Daniel, does he have advanced tactics in this list? War veteran, is there any advanced tactics here? Battle rights. Does he have advanced tactics? War chant, battle rights. I have to go through and look at these because I know there's a lot of characters in both. Yeah, I don't think he has advanced tactics. All right, fair enough. So that may be, and I could be missing it. There's a lot of characters and things here. I don't like how OPR moves the characters around, and it gets hard to find them. The Infernal Squad, if you can protect them, is going to do good. The Eliminator Squad had better do work because that's 380 points. And the Guard Squad, he's got the Destroyers here. He's got the War Veterans. He's got AP1. Diego has AP1, which Prime Brothers love to see because AP1 is not doing so great against Prime Brothers. So there's not a lot of high AP in Diego's list, I don't think. He's got a fusion rifle, yeah. Twin heavy flamer. Last cannon on the attack walker. 2 shots with a storm rifle. This attack walker can do work. I'm going to give this to Daniel, actually. Diego, it's a good army, but I think that he wants to go up against the lower defense army. The missile launcher, she's got a lot of AP1 and AP2, and that's actually what he's got. The destroyers, though, have the AP4. That could be very good for Diego. Diego has advanced tactics. He's got caster in there, and the casters are pretty good. He's got curse ground is great. Time passage is going to be key to get off. You want to get those time passages off so that you can charge in with that AP3, AP4, and sort of like murder the Prime Brothers. But I think I'm going to give this to Daniel. I think that Daniel, this is the list that Daniel wants to face. He wants to face. There is, like I said, there's AP4 in this list, but it's not a ton of AP4. Most of it's AP1 and AP2, and he's got flamers. So, but against a lot of Def Tooth, I'm going to give this to Daniel. I think there's a slight advantage. I'll give this to Daniel. I think it's going to be a really good game, though. All right, Stefano Pelletti's Dark Brothers. We know these very well. These are very good. List, I think Stefano is 1-1, and we've got Steven is 0-2. So this was one of those odd matchups. Steven is running the Lust Disciples, which I really like, against Stefano's. Oh, this is going to be a tough matchup for both. Both of these armies are just going to run in and just start hitting each other. They're going to hit each other very hard. This is going to be a quick game, one way or another. But I think I like Steven's list here. Because, do I like Steven's list? Will Steven have time to get off the... That's the thing. Is Steven even going to have time to get off that villainous charge? That's what it's going to be about. Both of these lists are trying to do the same thing. But I think... boy, I think I'm going to... Oh, boy, this is so tough. Because both of these lists are they're both very similar. There are sort of turn 1, turn 2 hard hitting. This is hard. This is actually a very difficult thing to predict. I think Stefano is going to win in a straight up fight, but Steven does have chaff. And so it's going to be a little more difficult for those Dark Brothers to get to the Dark Brothers want to get to the gooey center. They want to get to those Lust Talon Raptors. This may go to Stephen Walter. I think he's going to get his first win here. Stefano's list, I love it, but it's actually not going to do well, I predict, against... This is going to be another really good matchup. But I'm going to go 60-40 for Steven. I think that Steven he's got those 4 units of cultists, so he's got some chaff there. But Stefano, don't get me wrong, he can eat. It's only a 55. 60-40. He's got a 40% chance to win this game. The Pathfinders, though, then also are sort of tailor-made to kill the cultists, though, because he's got the Pathfinders, and those Pathfinders have shotguns and scout. So they're going to just murder those cultists as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to call. This is very difficult to call. Stefano, he's got shield wall on those destroyers, too. So, pretty good. Pretty good. 3 double units of destroyers, and he's got the caster there to support them. Steven doesn't have... This is going to be a super good game, and I'm probably going to say this game is going to be determined by the end of turn 2. This game is not going to go long. I think turn 2. So this is going to be... Stefano and Steven are really going to have to be careful about their turn 1 and turn 2 choices, because this game is going to end really fast. I'm not saying it's going to be tactical. I'm saying that, but every decision from the start of the game forward is going to be, this is going to be just immediate. This is going to be a bloodbath, and whoever is the better general is going to win this game. But it's going to be, you're going to have no time to even think. But I'm going to give this to, Steven. I'll give it, now I'm going back to Stefano. This is a hard game to predict. Oh, man. I'm gonna go with Stephen Walter because I think the cultists are going to be the MVPs. Um, yeah, I think he's got just enough chaff to hold off the Dark Destroyers, but just barely. And that's what I'm going to go with. That's like a 55-45 in Steven's favor. All right. Last matchup here. Now, I know that Craig has dropped out, and I respect it. He's got work, he's got stuff. I say it again, love this Machine Cult list. Love it, love it, love it. I know he's lost his 2 games, but yeah, from what I know, one of them I think he was saying was luck, and I can see that. That happens. Still think the list is good. Now I know Taylor is sick, and so Craig I don't think is going to be able to play. He was saying he's at work stuff, and I know Taylor is sick, so he may be. I don't know if he's going to be able to play, but if he can, he'll get it. I hope these two get a chance to play. I say this. I hope these two get a chance to play in the future. And what I want to do is I want to predict their future game because I think this is going to be a good game. I think Taylor's list is still very good. Did Taylor is he? What is he in this tournament? Is Taylor 0-2? He is 0-2, but I think he's still. It's still a very good list. Maybe bad rollers or something. I mean, I still think his list is super good. And I think that Craigslist is very good. It's a very difficult matchup because I think Craig's Machine Cult will do very well. Again, like Taylor has a Hive Lord, but actually Craig's AP2 spam is perfect. It's perfect for Taylor's list. It's a lot of Def 4 and Def 5. So this AP2 spam and is perfect for it's perfect for Taylor's list. But Taylor just has a great list. The Synapse Beasts I love. It's a combined squad, which I love more. He's got no retreat. He's got scout. He's got the ambush. He's got the Hive Lord who's going to do work. Um, the plasma cannons from the Destroyer Cyborgs. All right, great. Dragon Walkers. I'm going to give this to. Boy, this is hard. The AP4 on the Shadow Leapers may not be so great. I'm going to give this to Craig because there's a lot of AP4 that isn't going to do so good. So Taylor's list has a lot of AP4, tons of it, in fact. I don't know that that's going to do so well against. I mean, yeah, he could charge the Dragon Walkers, but your biggest threats are these sect stalkers, who I think would do work. So Craig and Taylor, if you get it, I'm predicting that Craig is going to win in your future game that hopefully you'll play one day. All right, so there are my predictions. Again, thank you everyone for playing. It's been super great, and I wish luck to everybody. But most importantly, I hope your games are good, and I hope you learn something in your games. Thank you so much.